A billionaire's entire world changed because of a single mother's rejected interview and her little girl's giggle that wouldn't be ignored. If you're still here, bestie, settle into is one of those rare stories that reminds you sometimes the most unexpected moments can change everything. So, picture Lagos at dawn, this noisy, chaotic symphony outside, but inside a tiny apartment, it's just Adana and her 2-year-old daughter, Kami, wrapped in a rare bit of peace. Today was huge. The interview at Adabo Holdings. Junior architect. Sustainable housing more than just a job. This was a way out. A future where Kami could have more than 4 cracked walls. More than a coughing generator and a landlord who knocked like the Grim Reaper every month. She got up, careful not to wake her little girl sprawled like a starfish, clutching a teddy bear. There was her navy blue suitor armor. Not designer, but perfect. Her portfolio sat on their all-purpose table, full of nights spent sketching while Kami slept. Her phone buzzed a text confirming a spot at the community creche. Relief. That was the last hurdle, because she had no family in Lagos, and her friends were just as swamped. Bath time was quick, full of giggles and silly songs. Then Kami into a little yellow dress, and out the door, holding her daughter's hand, portfolio clutched tight, daring to hope. But hope is fragile. At the creche, Auntie Bose was waiting, face apologetic before she even spoke. Measles outbreak. Immediate closure by health officials. No kids. Not today. Not this week. Just like that, Adana's whole plan crashed. She tried calling every Nino luck. Panic was creeping up, but Kami tugged at her hand. Want to play? Totally oblivious. Adana made her decision. No way she was giving up, not after all this. She straightened her suit, held Kami's hand, and together they marched to the Adabo Tower, a toddler in tow for the most important interview of her life. In a marble lobby, she rehearsed her emergency speech for the receptionist. There'd been a last-minute childcare emergency. She said Kami would be no trouble, but you know how it goes, polite smiles that hide silent judgment. They waited, Adana reading to Kami, fighting to keep her nerves together, swearing she'd fight for this one shot. The interview room was cold, a million miles from the Lagos streets outside. Across the table, 2 professionals, Mr. Okafor and Mrs. Admi. Adana explained the resume gaps raising her daughter. Freelancing. She brought out her portfolio. Homes designed for real living. Drawing on traditional Nigerian architecture for sustainability. She talked about cross-ventilation, solar tiles, communal gardens, the works. For a moment, she forgot everything but the work, lost in the passion for her designs. But then, Kami, bored of her picture book, started to fuss, then cry, tears rolling, tension thickening. Mr. Okafor ended the interview, dismissing Adana with a cold snap of a folder. All that talent, all that struggle, undone by a toddler's need. She left, heartbroken, Kami still sobbing, her dreams splintered. But sometimes, the right person hears the wrong noise. Benson Adabo, CEO, all business, came down the corridor. He saw the aftermath, Adana defeated, Kami still hiccuping tears. He could have ordered security, could have had them hustled out. But something in Adana's face humiliation, yes, but a core of dignity stopped him. Kami, curious, reached for his face. For some reason, Benson crouched down to her level, let her grab his tie, even made silly faces, earning a giggle that echoed through the marble halls. In that moment, his world so tightly controlled cracked open. For the first time in forever, he actually listened. He asked about her designs, not the gaps in her resume, not her childcare, just the work. On the floor, informal and real, Adana showed him eco-aisle. He saw the vision, the practicality, the humanity. He offered her a business card, a second chance. Bring Kami. He said, Mrs. Chitty, his longtime assistant, would be there, thrilled to look after a child for an hour. The next day, in his penthouse off Aquino interrogation, just coffee and conversation, Benson asked real questions, tested her ideas, but respected her answers. And when she nailed every point, when her passion shined, he made her lead architect, not junior, tasked her with making Eco all the flagship. Adana walked out, not hiding her motherhood, but embraced for it. It was more than a job, it was the start of a new life. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind project meetings, tough questions from engineers and analysts. Adana proved her vision could stand up to the hardest scrutiny, with Benson always there, his support a quiet shield. Their working lunches drifted from business to the personal, about her mother, about Kami, about what drove them both. Benson began to show up in her world, not just dragging her into his, where her car broke down in the rain. He came, umbrella and all. No judgment, just calm action. He made sure Kami felt at home, with toys in the penthouse and a place at his table. Their relationship deep and careful, tested by gossip and even Benson's family's doubts. When Adana's past came knocking, a blackmail call from Kami's father, Benson didn't flinch. He handled it, made her and Kami his family, promised protection without question. And when her own doubts surfaced, just another charity case, a project for a lonely billionaire, Benson set her straight. He loved her not in spite of her struggles, but because of the strength and heart they revealed. The Eco launch approached. Adana's vision was becoming real brick by brick, her leadership unquestioned. One night, Benson took her to the model home under the moonlight. In the courtyard, he'd installed a carved wooden bench, the heart of the home. He called it the place where his life changed. He gave her a small earth block, set with a diamond proposal as unique as their story. She said yes, tears streaming, the answer written long before in every look, every fight, every new beginning. Their wedding was held on the Eco site, a wild blend of tradition and modernity, family and business, chaos and joy. Kami stole the show, running up to her new dad in the middle of the vows. The three of them united by love, not just by law. The newspapers showed not just a kiss, but a family. A year later, the penthouse wasn't a showpiece site, was a home. Kami's drawings on the fridge, her giggles filling the halls, Adana's hand in Benson's. Another child on the way. The billionaire who built towers for a living now measured his fortune by the laughter in his home, by the family he never saw coming. All because he sat on a floor and listened to a child's giggle. That's the story. If you made it this far, drop a comment. What would you have done if you were Adana? Does love ever cross the lines we think are unbreakable? Let's talk about it below.